What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome to the Best See the Track. I am back from my Nashville trip, and this weekend, happy 4th of July weekend. We are at Road America this weekend, and Frontstretch has coverage covered. Here joining us is our senior editor and correspondent, Daniel McFadin, live in Wisconsin. Daniel, we just had a very interesting Xfinity race. Ty Gibbs won after a late battle with Kyle Larson. But that wasn't really the storyline that a lot of people were talking about. In the middle of the race, Sage Karam and Noah Gragson got involved together, and Gragson caused a multi-car pileup, about 12 cars that were involved. And there was a lot of drama that was on there. Tommy Joe Martin's team owner of Sage Karam's car said absolutely on purpose. And Kelly Earnhardt responded with, "I'm not embarrassed." My question to you is, what are your thoughts on that situation, and should there be a penalty on the number 9 car?
Well, just a clarification, she didn't say I'm not embarrassed for no reason. Martin said in his tweet, "I'm sure you're embarrassed," but she came back and said, "No, I'm not." But it'll be taken care of the right way, which whatever that means. But no, yeah, the crew at Alpha Prime Racing was not happy, and their feelings were confirmed when after the race, Noah Gragson said he said he was sorry that other people got caught up in it, but he never apologized to Sage Karam. So no remorse on that part from Mr. Gragson. But he intentionally wrecked Karam and then caused a 13-car pileup that resulted in a brief scare about how on the condition of Brandon Brown, as he was kind of huddled on the ground outside his car, but he just had a cup check, as he said it. He had the air knocked out of him. But yeah, a lot of cars damaged up because one guy saw red and caused a wreck in an inopportune time. And afterward, I talked to Sage Karam, and after he'd gotten a chance to see a replay, because actually I talked to him twice. Right after he got out of the medical center when he hadn't seen the replay, and then after the race when he had, and he said it just confirmed just what he felt on the track, that was intentional. He called Gragson punk, crazy, and said he had zero respect for him. And he said karma will come around for Gragson at some point. You can read that story, not at Frontstretch, but at Speed Sports. So, but yeah. It was eventful, and then there was an eventful overtime restart that Ty Gibbs came out on top with the last lap pass, and then afterwards both drivers hit. Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson showed mutual respect for each other, which was nice to see. But yeah, Ty Gibbs goes out and beats the defending Cup champion. That's no small thing.
I think with going back to the Gragson and Sage Karam incident, I was expecting maybe a lap or two penalty. If they're going to do something this weekend, I don't think it's going to be too severe. Maybe a 10, 15 point penalty for Gragson. When you intentionally wreck someone, that's part of racing. But to do it in a blind part of the track, that's kind of the big issue. Do you think that NASCAR's no call was a right call, or do you think they should have done something to Gragson during that race?
Completely uncalled for. There should have been a penalty of some sort. That's a clearly intentional wreck. 13 cars and a medical scare. I don't. What do you want? If you're NASCAR, what do you need to see to penalize someone? I mean, I think of Kyle Busch, intentionally wrecking Ron Holiday at Texas under caution, though that was under caution. But I mean, come on, it was blatant, and I mean, Noah Gragson has a history, not specifically because of incidents like this, but I mean, he causes trouble like this. So I would have penalized him in some form, whether it was 2-lap penalty or something. But just not doing anything at all is completely uncalled for.
We will see in the coming weeks what NASCAR will be doing with that penalty, whether it would be a point penalty or a race suspension, we will see. But I want to look forward to, the Cup Series race this weekend. Road America running on 4th of July weekend. NASCAR has and there's been discussion the past few weeks that Road America is not going to be renewed for the upcoming schedule. There's talks about Chicagoland taking its place on the schedule. A little bit of a weird...
The Chicago Street Course.
Yes, the Chicago Street Course. A lot of street, there's Street Course and also Chicagoland that's always mixed in there. They're going back to Chicago. But I want to hear first from the thoughts of Erik Jones to see where a race should be ran on during 4th of July weekend.
It's tough. Daytona was the home for so long, right? I mean, you think back, Firecracker 400, long before me, all the way up until, I had my shot to race there, won my first race there, July 4th weekend. So, I don't know, that one did kind of hold a special spot, but this one feels just as good of a spot. I mean, with the camping that we do up here, I think that's kind of the spirit of the 4th of July weekend, the camping, hanging out with friends, family, grilling out, and you see it around here so much. I think it fits well. But I do miss Daytona in some ways. It's always felt kind of right being down there, but this has been a good home for us.
All right, Daniel. NASCAR has a rich tradition with Daytona running from basically when Lee Petty won the Daytona 500 for the first time till 2019, ran the Brickyard in 2020, and then Road America the last few years. I want to hear your thoughts first. Where should NASCAR run its race during the 4th of July holiday weekend?
Well, if you're taking the Chicago Street Course out of it, if that's not part of the equation, I'm fine with this. This is my first time up here to Road America, and it's beautiful. It's like a state park was built around a racetrack. You got it's a combination of a swap meet mixed in with a sports car garage area. And then you have all the NASCAR stuff at the other end. And it's just, it's incredible. I do think that the Chicago Street Course needs to happen. Just for attention on NASCAR for that sake. So if Road America comes off the schedule for a year, that's fine. Because you need to at least do that street course race once. But after that, keep coming here, because some of the drivers, I think, like Erik Jones said, he thinks of camping on 4th of July, and that's what you do here. This is camping. I've only made it towards turn 5. It's as far as I've gotten so far in my exploration of this track, and I still haven't got to see all of it, and I want to see all of it. There's nooks and crannies here there's not at Daytona for people to enjoy. So my vote's Road America.
It's quite interesting. I enjoy Daytona 4th of July. We've had a pretty rich history on that. It's the epicenter of racing. It's where kind of the birth of NASCAR per se has been. Understandably, the reason why they moved Daytona back to August is to create that playoff trouble. And I was kind of skeptical at first with Road America.
The right choice. It was absolutely the right choice.
I'll see. With Road America, I'm fine with this. I was kind of a little skeptical at first, but there's a lot of rich history at this track. It's raced quite a while, and even way back in the Cup Series, way back in the 50s. So I'm all right with that now. But you kind of need some of that rich tradition for 4th of July, kind of that, back sense of racing, camping, as Erik Jones said. Kind of that sense of just going back to the roots, holiday tradition, I think is important. I don't think this should be a race weekend that we're going to be jumping around. Daniel, speaking of jumping, go ahead.
I'm not a strict, when it comes to NASCAR, I'm not a real strict traditionalist, except for when it's the Daytona 500, Southern 500, Coke 600. That's really it. Those are, I wrote this in a column last week at Frontstretch. It's those are things that are completely don't touch. Everything else is on the table, and you need to be nimble in order to go to the right place at the right time. Up until the last couple of years, NASCAR couldn't do that because they were locked in a 5-year sanctioning agreement thing with all the tracks that expired 2-3 years ago. So, and NASCAR executives have been very adamant. We want to be big and bold, and you can't be big and bold without being nimble. And we've been to Road America for 2 years. The Chicago thing has presented itself. You got to explore that if you can. So, I do agree with you. Like, July 4th, it shouldn't get shaken up too much. But in the short term, I think it's okay. But like I said, do the Chicago thing once and then come back in. So, yeah.
We'll see when the NASCAR schedule gets released, too. Daniel, we're going to get to our picks of the race. I'm going to show the standings from last weekend. I was in Nashville last weekend, and Brian Nolan was the host. And I picked Denny Hamlin, had a decent run, strong car, finished up 6th. Nolan, though, had William Byron, had those mechanical issues. So, unfortunately, Nolan didn't get the point. I did, too. And in our NASCAR poll, with over 3,400 votes, Chase Elliott is the clear favorite with over half the votes. Who are you picking to win the July 4th weekend and wrap up a win at Road America?
I'm going with Michael McDowell to get an upset. He's coming off third place finish at Sonoma, which was his best road course finish yet. He's had plenty of history here racing, so he knows his place well, and he's kind of on a hot hand relative to him. 6 career top 10 finishes, his most so far in the season, and he qualified 6th. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do up front. Basically, what he did, at Sonoma, if he can replicate that. So I'm going with Michael McDowell to get NASCAR Cup win number 2.
I do not hate that pick. I like that as a very underdog pick. As some people would say, sprinkle some money on it. But I'm going to go with someone else in the Ford camp. Kind of been underrated with road courses, but really good this weekend. I'm going to go with Chase Briscoe. So we'll see, battle of the Fords, who's going to get the point. Daniel, it was a pleasure to have you on. And from everyone here on Frontstretch, have a great race weekend. Thank you.